What's up, YouTube? This is Super Moon Mario Comics, and I actually decided to start doing Walking Dead show reviews, episode reviews, because I've actually been watching The Walking Dead for a while now, and I thought, well, since the comics got such a good response to this channel, I might as well start doing reviews for the Walking Dead TV show. So the episode starts with it being revealed that Glenn did not die, and in fact, the body that the walkers were eating was Nicholas's body, not Glenn's. And to be honest, Glenn's not, he is going to die soon, but I'll make another video explaining why Glenn is going to die. Like it's definite, and this episode just reaffirmed it. But what happens is that when Nicholas's body is being eaten, Glenn crawls under the dumpster behind him, and he stays there all night. And then the next day, when Glenn gets out from under the dumpster, he meets Enid, who ran away a couple of episodes ago from Alexandria. And Enid gives him some water, and she just tells him to take it and go. And Glenn decides to go and get her. So Glenn tries to find her, and eventually Glenn just gives up and decides to leave. And then he goes to the gate, and a couple episodes back, where the guy who was bitten by the walker, and he wrote a note to his wife. Glenn found that gate and he killed him as a walker. And after he killed him, he saw the note from his wife and he took it. So Glenn's seen a note that the guy wrote to his wife after he got bit, the one that Michonne handed back to the guy. Glenn decides, what would Maggie do? And he decides to go back and try and find Enid. So back at Alexandria, Rick calls a meeting between him, Morgan, Carol, and Michonne, because Carol snitched to Rick that Morgan let people go during the attack of the W's on Alexandria. So during this meeting, Morgan basically says he let the 5 people go because his new philosophy in life, that all life is precious, that was shown a few episodes back, is why he doesn't want to kill people anymore. And he basically says that he wants to give people a chance to change because everyone in that meeting has changed at one point. And Michonne and Rick basically question whether you can really go through this new world of walkers without putting human blood on your hands. So the next what happens is that Rick discusses plans with Michonne about somehow sneaking outside of the walls and getting a car to distract the walkers. And then, firing off flares and stuff like that. But Michonne questions the fact that he only wants to put people from his group, such as him and Carol and Carl, within the plan. And Rick doesn't want to tell any of the other Alexandrians about the plan. And Michonne basically says that we're all in this together, Rick. You have to trust the other people. And so next scene is training Abraham's girlfriend. I can't really remember what her name is. She is training Eugene and a couple other survivors, not survivors, and a couple other Alexandrians on how to take down walkers using machetes. And eventually Eugene just leaves because he can't handle the stress of combat. So then it's just back to Glenn, and Glenn finally finds Enid, and he says that he's not leaving her because Maggie wouldn't want him to leave her. And she then pulls a gun on him and tells him to leave. Glenn then stays and takes the gun away from her and convinces her to come back with him. And basically, the next scene is that Rick is reinforcing the part of the wall that leaked blood from the last episode. If you remember at the end, there was a hole of blood that was leaking. And Rick, in the beginning of this episode, he saw the hole. And so right now he's reinforcing it. Then Rick receives some help from one Alexandrians who's basically telling Rick that, don't give up on us just because we're slow, because we haven't had enough time to adjust to what's happening due to the fact that in Alexandria, nothing really changed due to them having walls that stopped the walkers from coming in. So then while he's talking, Rick sees Spencer, who's climbing on a zip line, and the zip line is basically starting to give out. So everyone's rushing to do something to help him. And basically their zip line breaks and Spencer falls. So then Tara starts to fire at the walkers while Rick, with the help of Alexandrian and Morgan, try to pull Spencer up by the zipline rope. Eventually they succeed and Rick and them are able to save Spencer. But interesting thing happens after Rick saves Spencer, Rick and his buddies. Rick yells at Tara saying that she had already almost died once for those people, and what was she thinking? And Tara responds with a middle finger. And basically Rick yells at Spencer, what was he thinking? And Spencer is basically saying that he was trying to climb over to the broken tower using a zip line and then jump down and get a car to lead the walkers away. And then Rick asks, if you were planning that, why wouldn't you come to me? And he says that, would you have listened? And then Rick says that if you have any other ideas, make sure to come to me first. And then we can do this thing together. Then Carol follows Morgan to the prisoner cells after Morgan convinces Denise, the doctor of the Alexandria, the new one, to come and treat the W prisoner that he has from a couple episodes back during a flashback. And from what I'm getting from the episode, no one actually knows that he's there. So Morgan's kind of hiding him, and it's a secret. So then the boy that was learning to shoot with Carl and Rick, I keep forgetting his name. The one who was angry at Carl for stealing Enid from him, the one who said he was Enid's boyfriend, you know, the son of the guy that Rick killed. They tease him actually shooting Carl. And I was thinking maybe this is how Carl was going to lose his eye in the show, is that he's going to shoot Carl and then Carl's going to go, he's going to fall, then they're going to kill him. But it didn't end up happening in this episode. So Glenn and Enid did make it back to Alexandria, but they saw how many walkers were there and they decided not to take the risk. So then people in Alexandria see the balloons that Enid was carrying around and they see it as a signal from Glenn. But then to end the episode, the tower that was caught on fire when the truck hit it in a previous episode, that tower has been falling apart, like planks have been dropping from it all episode. So you knew it was going to fall, you just didn't know when. It finally fell at the end of the episode. So this episode was actually more entertaining than the last one, in my opinion. I actually like this one. Not a lot of action in this episode, but you got to see Glenn come back, do some stuff. You got to see some more storyline development and more tension between them and Morgan. And for once, I actually thought that it was Morgan being bit because they kind of teased that a little bit. But I'm glad that did not happen. So all in all, I give this episode a thumbs up. It was good for me. At least I was satisfied with this episode. So if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe. Have a great day.